What dark secret are you hiding from everyone? My grandpa was stationed in Okinawa, Japan during the Korean War, while in the Marines. He hooked up with a woman there, and she got pregnant. So, I have a Japanese aunt and a few cousins, in Japan, whom I've never met before. Hank Hill. My brother and I did a 23andMe. We discovered we have a half-sibling, same father, who is older than us. I messaged them but no reply. Since the half-sibling is older, it was during my father's military career, which was short-lived because he got a dishonorable discharge that he hides from his family still. I don't know why, but I always keep thinking that one day I will cut all contact with everyone in my life, disappear from their lives and just keep for myself. I don't know why I think like this. I have some good friends. One of my friends did this in 2015. I still look for him wherever I am, dream that he just shows up. I worry. He's my friend, and I love him, but I'm so mad. We don't know if he's alive or dead, and it is heartbreaking. If you're reading this, I love you, but duck you bro. When I was around 9 years old I used my mom's credit card to sign up my shitty alcoholic stepfather for a porn website in hopes of starting a fight and her leaving him. FYI, she did leave after another year or so. Current stepdad is a real keeper. Holy shit, that's really clever. My wife and I aren't officially married. No one knows. We had a ceremony and everything, reception. The whole 9 yards. We just never did the official paperwork. We realized that since she's going back to school, it benefits her financially to go through financial aid as single rather than married. When she finishes up, we're going to head over to town hall and finish the last step. My adopted sister knows her birth mother died in a freak accident. She doesn't know the cause of death was beheading. I worked with a guy that was a first responder to the accident. Gosh, one normal day on Reddit. I owe the bank $100K. Owe someone $1,000. Your problem. Owe $100,000. Their problem. Most people in my family think that my mother recently died suddenly from complications due to cancer, but she really died from the toxic effects of oxycodone, morphine, fentanyl, and methamphetamine. Seems as though she just had herself a secret death party. I never have other plans that I just can't cancel. 4 o'clock, wallow in self-pity. 4:30, stare into the abyss. 5 o'clock, solve world hunger and tell no one. 5:30, jazzercise. 6:30, dinner with me. I can't cancel that again. 7 o'clock, wrestle with my self-loathing. I'm booked. Of course, if I bump the loathing to 9, I could still be done in time to lay in my bed, stare at the ceiling and slip slowly into madness. I had an IBS attack once and had to violently shit in a church grounds behind someone's car. Used underwear to wipe too and left that there. Not proud. I had one in high school. I managed to clean any trace, and nobody found out. Nobody knew, except my father, who was unusually helpful, understood me, and supported me. And never talked about it again. It was my darkest secret half of my life, but then I understood that it's natural, and that I've took the good decisions and I have nothing to be shamefully about. And also, I have way darker secrets now. I've been an addict my entire adult life. I used to drink all day every day. Before work, at work, and after work. I'd occasionally fall asleep on my lunch break or leaving work and have to make up some illness to friends and fam who were concerned. Today marks 185 days sober. Edit, holy smokes. You guys made my day. I had no idea this would get so much traction. Thank you all so much for all of the kind words, truly. And if you're reading this and currently struggling, don't give up. Better days are ahead. I believe in you. My experience is that remaining sober has become easier as time goes on. I can't vouch for anyone else, however. I imagine some struggle with the urges months or even years after going sober. I would be perfectly okay with never talking to any of my immediate family again. Ditto that my brother. When I was a teenager, I worked at a novelty tourist shop near me. Being the idiot that I was, I stole a wad of cash from the store. It was $100 in ones. I told nobody, but they knew it was missing. Right about the same time, a coworker who was always trying to get me fired was telling someone she got about $100 in tips from her other job. They ended up firing her because they didn't trust that it wasn't her. Not super dark, but mine is also stealing from my employer. It was a seasonal job and they told people if you came back next season you'd get a raise. Next season I got a 50-cent per hour raise and mentioned it to a couple other people who had also returned, who it turned out didn't get a raise. They went and complained to the boss, who then took my raise back and gave them each 25-cent raises. I argued with the boss for a bit but eventually just decided I'd steal a few bucks per shift to make up the difference. Call me maybe is my morning alarm. This is crazy. It's not a dark secret I guess, but sometimes while I'm on the train to work I try to mentally do whatever the opposite of road rage is. Like I'll pick a person and aggressively think at them I hope you get a crazy big tax refund, or I hope you stumble across $20 on the sidewalk, or I hope someone compliments something you're normally insecure about. I think maybe I'm trying to balance the karmic scales or something, because it seems like so many folks do the opposite without really thinking about it too much. Hope you Redditors get a really comforting hug next time you need it most. I like that. Is road kindness the opposite of road rage? I'll try that. Funny, light-hearted story from my childhood. My little brother was in the shower, I could hear him singing. I put a coat on backwards, and a stocking cap pulled over my face, and waited outside the bathroom door. He opened the door, still singing, and dancing kinda, and I did the Frankenstein thing. Arms out, moaning, He screamed and fell backwards, knocking the toilet completely over. Water went everywhere, the top of the toilet tank broke, shower curtain ripped down, and him laying on the floor in the middle of all this. I ran back down the hall, coat and hat off, and sauntered back casually. By then my mother and father and our sisters were there, and everyone is like, you know, what the hell. I've heard him tell this story as proof of the existence of ghosts. To this day, little fella is now a 52-year-old bank manager with 2 kids, he believes in ghosts. I don't feel a bit bad. Pest control technician here. You're paying too much for pest control. Whoever you hired, unless it's a fairly small company, they are ripping you off. Unless you have cockroaches or bed bugs, YouTube it. Times are hard enough right now. Nice try bugs living in my house. The professionals are on the way. My wife is handicapped and I lied to her that I find it hard to clean/cut up mushrooms. She has self-esteem issues because I can do things much easily than her. So I lied, and now she feels better. You monster? That I didn't graduate from college. I failed one course my senior year, second semester. The ceremony was already set up so they let everyone walk. I had no diploma in my award, nobody knows to this day, and it's been 17 years. Failed one course, 3 credits. Was ashamed, so I never went back for those 3 credits. So everyone believes I graduated. Sometimes I spend whole meetings wondering how they got the big meeting table through the door. The building was constructed around the table. The table has always been, and always will be, at that location waiting to fulfill its purpose of hosting meetings. Not a huge secret in comparison to some of these answers, but I feel the guilt of it often. After my fiancée passed, I napped all the time for over a year. My aunt was calling me one day and I just denied her call, went back to napping. It was my aunt calling because my grandma, who was very sick with cancer, wanted to say happy birthday a day before my birthday. Grandma died the next day. I should have picked up the damn phone. She still loved you and just wants you to be happy. It's okay to not be okay, and sometimes we miss important things for that reason. My uncle owned an old Camaro that collected dust in his garage. When I was around 10, my family and I were in town visiting, and I wrote the word duck in the dust on the hood of the car. I used my thumb so that the letters were fatter than my normal index finger. A few hours later my aunt/uncle asked us who did it, and I proved it wasn't me by showing how the person who did it had bigger fingers than me. Taking that shit to my grave. Edit, this blew up. I'm 33 now, and the entire family definitely knows it was me. It's an inside joke now where someone tries to get me to admit to it and I never will. I have to think they knew, but respected the hustle of it. One of my closest co-workers, who is an integral part to our very large corporation, killed a man in his late teens and threw the body in a lake. He only got off on a technicality. I work remotely, so I don't build a lot of personal relationships with people I work with regularly. I googled his full name. It freaked me out at first. But I've kinda gotten over it. I wonder if anyone else knows. It happened 40+ years ago. He will retire soon, and then I might ask another coworker about it. I just don't want to stir the pot. Did you know Bernie from accounting is a murderer? My girlfriend started selling used pants and stuff online. Someone wanted used insoles from her shoes. I walk for about 6 hours at a time at work and often just put her insoles in my shoes. Those perverts are getting off to the smell of my sweaty feet thinking it's a girl.